Hey there, everyone! Today I've got a story that's both heartwarming and a bit complex. Imagine this. A deportation flight lands in Guatemala City. The plane, which had just left the United States, touches down in the morning as the sun plays hide-and-seek behind the clouds. But instead of heading to the usual international arrivals, it veers off to the military side of the airport. As the doors open, dozens of men and women step out. They're greeted by none other than the Vice President of Guatemala, Karen Herrera. Picture this: cookies, coffee, and a warm welcome. It's not what you'd expect, right? Now, these folks had been detained under the Biden administration, but were deported under Trump-era policies. Some of them, like Sarah Botos, had been in the US for years. Sarah expressed relief to be back, saying it felt too dangerous to stay in the States. She was looking forward to reuniting with her family. Can you imagine the mixed emotions? Sarah's story is quite moving. She had been living in Alabama for 10 years, working in construction and roofing, taking care of her children and grandchildren. She was pulled over by the police and cited for not having her grandchild in a car seat. And that's when they discovered her immigration status. After 7 months in detention, she was on that flight back to Guatemala. Her first thought? To change out of those grey sweats and into her indigenous clothes. And then to eat some good food. But not everyone felt the same. Fidel Ambrosio, who had lived in the US for 19 years, was determined to return, even if it meant going back illegally. He couldn't understand why he was deported when he wasn't a violent offender. His dream of a better future in the US still lingered. The Guatemalan government's efforts to welcome these returnees show their commitment to addressing the needs of their citizens. Vice President Herrera made it clear, "We are committed to their integrity and their basic rights." For some, the return to Guatemala was bittersweet. They had built lives in the US only to be uprooted and sent back to a country with its own set of challenges. Yet the welcoming atmosphere, the cookies, coffee, and the familiar faces provided a sense of comfort. The reception center was bustling with activity. Names were called, temporary IDs handed out, and people reunited with their families. Some deportees were even escorted by police, expected to face legal actions back home. But for the majority, it was a moment of relief and a chance to start anew. Sarah, after changing into her traditional clothes, was eager to reunite with her daughter, whom she hadn't seen in 10 years. They hugged and cried, holding each other for what felt like an eternity. Sarah shared her plans to return to her indigenous community and never leave. On the other hand, Fidel's resolve to return to the US was unwavering. Despite the legal hurdles, he was determined to find a way back, even if it meant risking everything. So there you have it, a story of mixed emotions, resilience, and the human spirit's unyielding hope. It's a reminder that behind every policy there are real lives and real stories. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that matter.